I don't know. We'll see. Maybe 5 years from now we can actually compete again.
Welcome, welcome, welcome to Better Win Green, eh? To Better Win Green, eh? To Better Win Green, eh?
Welcome into Better and Green. Today we're going over the Masters, NHL, MLB, and NFL draft futures. Wyatt, you decided to join us down in Florida, man, on location. What's going on, buddy?
Nothing much, man. Excited to be here. The bets have started to hit. Unfortunately, the sun is up 1-0 on Wyatt, but we'll come back and get it tomorrow. I'm pretty confident that I can get the win tomorrow. But yeah, making some money down here. So I'm on a heater and trying to keep it going. But yeah, excited to be here. I'm sorry I didn't make it on Monday, but happy my little Yukon graphic paid off, and hopefully everyone cashed on that.
Absolutely. We're glad to see you didn't die from the Uber driver either.
Yeah. I get car sick, and I had an empty stomach, and it was not a great combo. But I made it.
Ethan, you're wearing the Detroit Pistons just all-out gear, man. What's going on with you?
Yeah, Pistons locked up the worst record in the NBA, which I knew all along they could. So, yeah, just repping it. Last game, the Teal had to bring out the vintage Grant Hill. Yeah, hope they lose the last three and get that first overall pick. And I don't know. We'll see. Maybe 5 years from now we can actually compete again.
Wyatt, let's start with you, man, so you can get to game planning against that sun.
Yeah, so I'm going to start off with NHL. I'm going to take the Penguins on the money line, minus 125 versus the Wild. The Wild have already locked up a playoff spot. Penguins are right on the border right now, fighting for that that wild card spot. So I think the Penguins have more to play for. They just are coming off a loss as well. So I think they're going to come back and get this win. It is minus 125, and I will give you fair warning. All three of my plays are pretty crappy odds, but I still think there's value in it. So, yeah, I think I really like the Penguins, a lot to play for, and I think they can take out the Wild pretty easily.
Yeah, I'll stick on the ice with the NHL too. I'm looking at the Carolina Hurricanes, Nashville Predators, under 5.5 at even odds. I personally am going to be waiting on that, hoping to get a 6. It's probably going to be minus 125, minus 120. But I always like to get that extra insurance there for the push if it does land on 6. Freddie Anderson, UC Saros, and not much more to say. These two teams are kind of under teams all year anyway. Now it's getting close to the playoffs where teams start kind of packing it in, playing more defensively. So I don't see this game being high scoring at all. 2-1, 3-2, somewhere in there.
I totally agree. I'm going to kick off our Masters coverage. I'm taking the Masters nationality prop as a USA winner. I was really looking at that European pretty hard, but right now you can get USA winner at minus 135, and that includes Scheffler, who's the favorite. I think it's Spieth, Thomas, Johnson. I'm not exactly sure I pronounce it, but Finau at fourth odds.
Yeah.
Koepka, DeChambeau, and of course you get Tiger. So I'm gonna roll with the USA.
I was looking at that one as well. I almost took the European. I think I saw it at plus 200, and the only reason I wanted that because you get the second favorite and the third favorite with Rory and Rahm. But no, I like that play. My final two plays are all Masters. I'm gonna go back. I have a top 20 finish. I have Tony Finau top 20 at minus 140. Again, not great odds, but I also have a pretty decent future on Tony to win the Masters. I just think it's going to be Tony's year. He's been playing really well. I just like him to at least get top 20, if not higher than that, and hopefully he can pull out that win. I think I got that at like plus, 8,000 or something like that. So I'm rooting for Tony, but I think top 20 is very doable.
For what it's worth, I like Finau to win it as well. My play is also top 20. Last week we talked a little bit of golf. Wyatt, I think you were on Nick Taylor, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
And I mentioned I like to go Corey Connors top Canadian. Of course, he goes and wins outright last week. This week I'm taking Corey Connors top 20 at plus 150. Couldn't believe the price. Obviously good form. Just won the Valero last weekend. Really good at Augusta. He was, I think, 2020 he finished tied for 10th. 2021 finished tied for 8th. Last year finished tied for 6th. So he's gotten 3 straight top 10s, plus 150 at top 20. and a guy with good form, and a guy with good course history. He's also in the top 25 tee to green, strokes gained. So, yeah, I just think kind of a no-brainer on Corey Connors, top 20 at plus 150.
Nice. I'm a big NFL draft nerd, big time. So I've been looking and doing a lot of research. Our first mock draft came out this Monday. Right now, the futures on Anthony Richardson over 4.5, that is the draft spot, is at plus 185. So if you think he's going to go 5th or later, you get plus 185 odds. That is very, very insane. Because right now, his odds to go at the 3rd overall pick is minus 160. And his odds for 4th overall is minus 125. And if you get him at the 5th spot, it jumps up to plus 1,200.
Wow.
So they're basically saying he's going to go 3rd or 4th. And Panthers, Texans, Cardinals, Colts are the first. Panthers, I see Bryce Young. Texans, probably CJ Stroud. If not, then they're not going to go quarterback. They'll probably go that Anderson. And then Cardinals don't need a quarterback. And then Colts. And even if someone trades up to get CJ Stroud from the Cardinals and the Colts, I still think that they'd take Will Levis over Richardson. So that's just a really odd one with a really high number.
Yeah, I need to look more at that. We still have, a week or two until that happens. But, yeah, that's kind of crazy. I know he had a great combine, and I know a lot of people think that could, like, jump his positioning. But, yeah, that seems kind of crazy. I'm kind of tempted to take him to go exactly 5th as well, because if the line's, as like you said, 4.5 or whatever, is plus whatever. So the line's pretty much at, 3.5 probably realistically. Having him at 5, though, is not bad if the odds were that high.
Plus
Again, I need to figure out the exact draft order. But, yeah, that's definitely interesting. I think that's some good value there. So I love draft props as well. I'll probably get into that pretty heavy the next week. But I love that play. My last one again. Sorry, go ahead.
Just a quick touch on that. I think Richardson probably goes 3rd or like 15th. Yeah. And there's like probably not much of an in between.
We thought Willis was going to go high, and he ends up being a 3rd round draft pick. This is a guy whose tape didn't look great, but he just is that athletic freak. And you're thinking of Lamar Jackson. You're going to spend a 1st round pick on this unproven guy. Just give next year's 1st round pick and get Lamar. I just don't see it happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, I completely agree. My one's going to final one is going to be in Augusta. Of course, I got to bet Tiger. He's not, I don't think, going to have a great round, but I just have him to make the cut. Again, it's pretty gross. I, for some reason, placed it before I came to Florida. I got it at minus 190. It's now at minus 165. So that sucks for waiting. But in my thought process behind this, I'm not sure the exact thought, but every single time Tigers came back in the last couple of tournaments he's played in the last 2 or whatever years, I feel like he's making a cut at a very high rate. He does fall apart on day 3, especially, but it seems like he's always making the cut. It's the Masters. He always wants to perform. He's obviously not himself anymore, so I'm not going to bet him anything in the top 20, top 10, anything like that. But I do think he's going to make the cut. And if he doesn't, it's just be something to root for, because we all want to see Tiger on Saturday and Sunday.
Yep, I agree. I was looking at that as well. And last year, too, he came out, played pretty well day 1 and 2, and then kind of fell off from there. But if I remember right, easily made the cut. Let's see. Ben, do you want to give out your 3rd? I'm bouncing a little bit here for my last one.
Yeah. This really piggybacks off my last one, but right now you can get the under 4.5 quarterbacks drafted in the 1st at minus 140. And I really like that this year. I think CJ Stroud and Bryce Young are both locks to go in the 1st round. Looking at Will Levis, looks like he's more getting prepared for an OnlyFans account with the pictures he's posting than to play in the NFL. Anthony Richardson, athletic freak, but I just don't know if we saw enough from him in college. I see him going later. I don't really see how this top 5 stuff is coming up. I just don't see it. But then it would have to be, I think Hendon Hooker would have to be the 5th quarterback taken. and I don't see him going in the first. I think a lot of these teams know that they can get him in the second, and so you're really pushing it to get Hendon or anyone else in there, because I don't even think Richardson is a first-round player in my book.
Yeah, that's tough for me to see 5 going in the first round.
Yeah,
I didn't even know who the 5th was until you said Hooker. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
I don't even know who comes after Levis or Richardson. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Bennett
gonna,
in the 5th round.
Yeah.
It could get pretty scary, especially if 1, 2, 3 go off the board early. But I still think even if that happens, I think you're going to be okay. Because I mean,
Yeah.
Levis will probably go 15-ish, and then I just don't think Hooker is going to go first round. So I really like that. I think it's a decent one.
Thank you.
All right, so for my last pick, I'm going to the MLB. We're going to look at the Chicago White Sox money line against the San Francisco Giants. It's minus 135. Pretty simple. I just think the White Sox are a bet-on team right now. Giants are not. I think the Giants are going to be pretty disappointing this year. I think the White Sox are going to be kind of the team that people expected last year. Been on the White Sox. I was on the White Sox today. They cashed for me. I was on the White Sox last week against the Astros on opening day. So we'll see if we can go 3 in a row. It's going to be Lance Lynn against Alex Wood pitching. So I think there might be a slight pitching edge to the Giants, but I just like the bats of the White Sox more than the Giants, and I think the White Sox can ultimately get it done at home.
You've been pretty hot on baseball, haven't you, Ethan?
6-1 start, so hot or lucky, not really sure. But
I have a question with the White Sox. Didn't you give out the White Sox season total wins under?
Over.
Oh, you did the over. Okay.
Yep.
I was going to say, because they've been on a heater the last couple of days.
Yeah.
Off to a great start. So, that, I guess, long season, but, they've been a pretty solid team so far. So,
yeah.
I think you were sniffing around the White Sox before the season even started from our group chat.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. I just think they were disappointing last year. They're supposed to be really good, and they just weren't. And they didn't lose that much in their rotation or their lineup. They actually added a few bats in that lineup. So, and their division is so weak. I mean, God, Tigers and I can't even think Twins. But yeah, I don't know. I expect them to be pretty decent, win that division pretty easily.
Yeah. Well, that's going to be our big 3, guys. Make sure you guys follow us along on all of our social medias, listen to the podcast, and we'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace, guys.
Thanks, guys.
see you guys.
Welcome to Better Win Green, eh? To Better Win Green, eh? To Better Win Green, eh? Listening and cash out, that's what it's all about. Come on, let's make cash now. We always on spot and we cover all spot from the bottom to the top, hey. Shout out to Ethan, shout out to Zed, shout out to Ben. Welcome to our podcast, Better Win Green.